Okay, yeah, just looking at this looks pretty good. I tend to prefer, this looks like a CG render, and I tend to prefer a real reference rather than somebody else's CG, but still it's good. And yeah, I think, obviously you'll be doing bevels in the next module to get these all rounded, and so that'll be pretty straightforward, except for on these guys, I think. I just wanted to show because this bottom surface is a little bit right mouse click edge, like a little problematic because of all these the way all these edges kind of come into that one point there, and it's not going to let you bevel this well the way it's constructed. So what I'm going to do is right mouse click face, select the face, delete, right mouse click edge, double click to select the edges around the bottom there, Control E to extrude, R for scale, click and drag here and scale that in a bit, and then shift right mouse click, fill hole, and that will fill that hole, and then Control Shift X for the multi-cut tool, or Mesh Tools multi-cut tool, and click here, click there, enter. And so that's a bit of a better construction on the bottom. And so now I'm gonna just select all the edges that define sharp corners. Oops, I don't want these though. But just the ones around that define a sharp corner, and then Control B for bevel, and then I can adjust the segments and the fraction, to taste. Something like that. Press 3 to see it in rough mode, smooth mode, right mouse click object, and that looks pretty good. Um, and then, yeah, I think this piece could use some work. If I look at the reference, you can see that this is it's sort of a thin thing that's over his eye, but you have it kind of a wedge shape that's intersecting the eye. Um, but yeah, you did have that sense, right, that it's diagonal there. I mean, I think it's pretty straightforward actually, because you could probably, first of all, I wouldn't don't combine surfaces unless they're forming a seamless whole. Like, it's not a good idea. It's not helpful. So let's do mesh. Sorry, edit mesh separate to get those separated. Sorry, mesh separate. And let's get rid of that. And what is that? Is that a cylinder? Um, just reset this. Oh, yeah, it's a cylinder. What I would probably use is a pipe primitive. So create polygon primitives pipe, and that's E for rotate. I'll hold down J, the J key, and click and drag, and I'll snap it to 15-degree increments. And let's make this much smaller. And let's make this thickness much smaller and move that. Oh, whoops, didn't mean to hit S. Okay. And probably even thinner. Maybe increase the subdivisions axis. Make that rounder. And just to be able to see this better, I'm going to go to Renderer Viewpoint 2.0, Options, Screen Space Ambient Inclusion, and Enable, and it just helps you see the surfaces better. I'm going to hit 3 on that one to see. Okay. Back to the reference. So that kind of cuts in there. And there is a thinner thing around the bottom. It's hard to tell exactly what's going on there. I kind of think it's be great if we had another angle on it. But I guess my interpretation is there's 2 rings around the eye. One of them is that kind of um, that one that's kind of at an angle. And you might even just be able to rotate this like that or something. And then put another, maybe adjust the radius a little bit. But I'm holding down Control while I middle mouse drag to adjust the size of this. But yeah, I think that's for that one. And then I think there's another ring that's just kind of flat there. But use a pipe for that. Um, yeah, most of the rest is pretty straightforward. Just need a bunch of bevels. Okay, good work.